you've made your notes, you've cited. There are some people prefer to make their notes with their system. I mean, copying from the source, reading from their laptop, copying to their MS Word, citing at once. Whereas some people prefer writing it into paper and then typing it later on. Whichever you prefer, whichever one works best for you, whichever one you enjoy, use them. The next stage is for you to edit your manuscript and organize it. The following are common processes in scientific manuscript editing. The first thing is organization and content. When you revise your manuscript, you have to start with the basic structure, which is organization and content. Now, in the introductory part, for example, should be organized in a funnel shape, beginning with the background information, to the gap analysis, hypothesis, research aim, etc., etc. So what this means is that your work should be organized scientifically. I mean, you should know what should be in your introduction. Let's look at the next slide. Now, you should know what should be in the introduction. You should know what should be in the method, what should be in the result, what should be in the conclusion, and so on and so forth. So what did you do and why did you do it? Aim and justification of study is in your introductory section. Now, how did you do it? Your method. If I want to replicate your study, where will I see the information to do that? I will not see it in the introduction. I will see it in the methods or the methodology section. What did you discover? If I want to know what you found from your research, I would go to the results section of the paper. And then how is this important? I mean, what you have found, how is it important? I would see that in your discussion section, and what is the message being conveyed? I'll see that in your conclusion. This should tell you that when you are doing your literature review, it's not everything in the manuscript that you should read. You should read following the particular information you are looking for. So for example, you're working on universal health coverage. Maybe you don't have an idea of what universal health coverage is. You want to familiarize yourself with the concept of universal health coverage from from research articles. Where you would see this background information of universal health coverage is in your introductory section. That's where you should read. That's the only section of the paper you might need to read. Other sections of the paper may not be necessary. When you need background information about any subject matter, maternal health, sexual reproductive health, telemedicine, background information, you're trying to create background information about them. That's where you get the information from the introductory section of a paper. Now, when you are concerned about a particular paper you are reviewing, for example, applications of telemedicine during infectious disease outbreaks. You want to know how, that's the title of a paper, because you had in mind, you want to know how can we explore telemedicine in infectious disease outbreaks. Of course, you will not see that information in the introductory section of the paper. If you are reviewing that paper, you will see that information in the results and in the discussion section of that paper, because that particular information is specific for that manuscript. Manuscript specific information, you see it in the result and discussion, but generalized information, you mostly see it in the introductory section of the paper. So these are the essential components of an original article. The abstract is a short version of your works, like a summary. Mostly 250 words, 300 words, introduction, method, result, and discussion. The abbreviation is IMRAD, excluding abstracts. IMRAD stands for Introduction, Methodology, Result, and Discussion. Now, apart from these, apart from IMRAD, other components of an original article include competing interests. Do we know what is competing interest? Does anybody have an idea of what is competing interest? Just reply with a yes. If you don't, just reply with a no so that I can explain. Competing interest, funding, author's contributions, acknowledgement, author's information. Okay, no, okay. Now let's say Zachariah. Okay, I think I can pronounce it. Zachariah, let's say you are working on efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines. And what you are to do, what you're expected to do, or what you want to do is to compare three different vaccine candidates, their efficacy, right? You're comparing Moderna, you're comparing AstraZeneca, you're comparing Johnson vaccine. That's your work. But then, for this work you're doing, you receive funding from Moderna to do this work. Maxine Zachariah now, and to receive from Moderna to carry out this work can affect the authenticity, or validity of your results. Or anybody can reply.
You went blank for some minutes, so the question wasn't complete. Can you come again?
Okay, I am saying that Zachariah, for example, Khadija, Kenneth, whoever is on the line, you are working on, you're comparing three vaccine candidates, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Oxford, or Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Johnson. That's your work. That's the research work you're carrying out. But then you receive funding from Moderna to carry out this work. So do you think that this funding you're receiving from Moderna can affect this work? Yes. Zachariah said yes. Can you tell us how? Can anybody tell us how? What do you think? Why would it affect the work? You can not typing, you can just say it orally.
I believe since Moderna is funding the project, they want me to write something in supportive of their own product.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yes, there is this chance of biasness because you're receiving funding from these people. You wouldn't want to stab the fingers that feed you. So what you simply do in such scenario is that you have to declare that because you wouldn't want to stab the finger that feed you, sort of. So you need to declare that there is a competing interest, meaning that as much as I am a good researcher and I want to stand by ethics of whatever of research, I kind of have a little problem. I mean, this research is funded by Moderna, so I can't vouch for 100%. So that's simply what it's saying. So you're declaring this. When you're declaring this, the reader, whoever is going to use your work, acknowledges this fact and would know how to treat it. So if you don't declare this competing interest, you're breaching ethics of research. Now, funding, you need to tell us if your work was funded by an individual, organization, a grant, blah, 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 blah. Now, author's contribution, telling us exactly what did this person do. For example, Khadija, Jeremiah, and Kenneth, three of them are working on a paper. It could be Khadija conceived the study. It could be Jeremiah did most of the writing, or maybe Jeremiah did sourcing for literature, and let's say Kenneth did analysis. So you need to state this out. Most journals always have, or some journals have specific rules. So you just need to click. They can tell you conceptualization. You take the person that did conceptualization, writing. You take the people that wrote it, review. You take the people that review. So that is just it. Now, what are the criteria for authorship? And most times we just put people because we respect them, they are our supervisors, or I don't know what to say. But anybody that has not intellectually contributed to a paper can only be acknowledged, but cannot be the author of the paper. If the person has not written or has not reviewed the paper, did not conceive the idea, the person can be an author now. Maybe the person assisted you in doing lab work, the person assisted you, gave you transport to carry some material. No. You can only acknowledge the services of the person. But if there's no intellectual input, underline the word intellectual, no, the person is not an author of the work. All right, so acknowledgements, I've mentioned that already. Somebody you want to acknowledge, somebody that assisted you in one way or the other in the work, or somebody that motivated you, somebody that inspired you, you can put the person in the acknowledgement. Author's information, this is your name, the author's name and the affiliation. Now, most journals may request for ethics approval for original studies. I mean, if you're going to generate data from the field, journals want to get ethical approval. Who approved your study? Did you get informed consent from the participant? Let us see the form and so on and so forth. Some journals may even ask you for your research item. I mean, your questionnaire. If it's a questionnaire-based study, they may ask you because they want to say exactly what you did. Although it is expected that your questionnaire question should be present in your results, in your methods. But in case you fail to do that, the journal will request for it. So that is that's a bit rare. The next thing you check for logical flow. After you finish revising the organization and content of each section, that is, make sure that aims is in introduction, make sure that methods is in methodology, and so on and so forth. Check the logical organization and the flow of sections. What are the things to keep in mind? Use one idea per paragraph. Most early career researchers' papers I read, it's bombarded with plenty ideas in a paragraph. You're talking about the effect of lockdown. You're talking about benefit of lockdown. You're talking about impact of lockdown. All of them in one paragraph. No, that's very wrong. Treat your ideas paragraph by paragraph. Or if you are talking about economic effect of lockdown in one paragraph, that paragraph should only be for economic effect. Don't talk about political effect. Don't talk about health effect in the same paragraph. So try to limit one paragraph for one idea. Make sure the transitions are smooth. Don't jump arbitrarily from one idea to the other. Use things like furthermore, moreover, also, in addition. The secret I learned in writing is read journal articles. Look at how authors write. You would somehow be inducted. There's what is called magnetic induction. When you put two magnets together, this one, or when you put this particular thing that can be magnetized with a magnet, the magnet can induct it. So if you keep reading journal articles, it automatically induct your mind. When you're picking up your pen or whatever to write, those words that were coming out will reoccur in your mind, and you remember how the authors present their cases, and you most likely want to present it that way. So use transitions smoothly. Let everything connect very well. That's a common mistake most early career researchers do. A run-on sentence should be avoided at all costs. Oh my God, this is also very common. You see a sentence of 50 words. Please, as a benchmark, let your sentence be like 25 words. As a benchmark, it's not a very strict rule, but it's a benchmark, like I said. If it is more than 25, try and break it down. Let your sentence not be too long, because if your sentence is too long, it can distorts the understanding of the reader. So if it's more than 25 words, break it down into two and make your sentence easy to understand. Because it's a scientific paper does not mean you have to be over complicated and difficult to understand. Make sure you understand it yourself, because if you yourself don't understand, it's difficult for the reviewer or the audience to understand. If you don't understand, don't assume that the audience will understand. You should understand it first. If you think we should understand, you yourself should understand it first. So try and make it very simple and easy to understand. Proofread the paper. This is very important. When you're proofreading it, you're trying to avoid spelling issues, mechanic issues. Most times, give your paper to your friend, your research pals, or your mentors. They should help you and proofread and edit the article. Okay, the last practical for today, we're going to see how we can use Grammarly and Hemingway editor. So I would share my Chrome screen once again. I'll just do Grammarly because of time. You explore Hemingway editor by yourself. Please, can we see the Chrome screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I click on Grammarly. It's because I have logged in Grammarly already. So it's just going to take me straight to where I can just paste my paper, my work. So wait for it to load, just give it a few seconds. While it's loading, let me copy the text I want to run on Grammarly. Okay, copied it. Going back to Grammarly. Let me use sorry, it's network issue. Network is a bit slow. Okay, this if you open your Grammarly, you would need to, if I'm not mistaken, log in. I cannot really remember because a very long time I logged in. So I don't know if you can use it without logging in, but if you need to log in, it's not a big issue. It just, what will be needed will be your email. Of course, they always want your email and a few other details. And when you're done with that, the interface is very easy for you to understand. So this is how it looks like. You would see upload paper. I've already clicked upload paper before now. This is a paper I have uploaded. It's trying to calculate the grammar. So you can see it here. It's trying to calculate the errors and it's going to show me the errors that I have made. Now, okay. Let me try the new paper. But I believe most of us have used Grammarly before. So when you paste the sentence or the paragraph or the work Grammarly, you see it loading, and then it will begin to show you some errors that it will help you correct. And if you're using the free version of Grammarly, by the way, I have the paid version of Grammarly, Quillbot and Turnitin. If you're using the free version of Grammarly, you may not be able to access all the features of Grammarly. But if you're using the free version, it's going to show you some things that you need to correct. It can show you punctuation errors. It can show you Eben, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, I can see your screen.
Hello, Ben, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Can you hear me now?
Hello, can anybody see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
I can see your screen.
The Grammarly screen, can you see it?
Yes.
So it shows you where you have, can we see this, the public? Can we see this? Hello, can we see this?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, hello, can we see the slides?
Yes.
Can we see it? Okay, please, let's continue. Maybe that won't be for an assignment. I'll get it later from you. At least I've exposed you to the idea. You have to explore. The more you explore, you learn more about it. Okay. Now, the last stage is formatting your manuscripts. Can we see the slide on formatting manuscripts? Now, some journals always have specific instructions of how they want you to present your manuscript. I mean, the number of words they want you to present the manuscript. I mean, the referencing style. I mean, the font size. I mean, the font style, and so on and so forth. So whatever you must have, however you must have presented your, or however you must have prepared your manuscript, you have to format it to the style of the journal. If this journal rejects it, you're taking it to another journal, you have to prepare it according to the style of that journal. How do you know the style of the journal? You read the journal guidelines. You see where you have authors' instructions or instruction for authors or submission guidelines, as the case may be. They will tell you the type of manuscript they receive. They will tell you the citation style they use. They will tell you the number of words, and so on and so forth. So the last stage is, of course, submitting your manuscript, and then you wait for feedback from the journal. The last exercise, 30 seconds, please. Eben, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please take note of the answers, and those I'll be giving all answers. We have 10 more seconds. All right, time's up. Thank you very much. So that is the end of our presentation. Please know I'm always available for questions. This is my email. I respond to email, and this is my WhatsApp contact. If you are in Nigeria, you can call me. If you are the diaspora, you can message me on WhatsApp, Telegram, I'll respond. Anyhow it is. If you have any question at all, I'm always available for them.
Okay, so
question time.
Thank you very much. I don't know, we can just sum up with the answers in the chat. Would you like to take note of the names?
Yes, if you put it in the chat, I will read it.
Yes, so I think.
Ben,
Yes.
Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you for your feedback. I would really appreciate if you would drop these feedbacks to in the Telegram group chat. It would mean so much for me and for us. But meanwhile, still take more feedbacks and I'll take your questions too. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you. Thank you, Khadija, Mohammed. I've made new friends today. Thank you. I already know Kenneth. Kenneth is my friend. Thank you, Jeremiah. I have met Jeremiah today. I have met Olua Timilen Abore today. And Tayu, I have met Tayu. I connected with Zachariah some weeks ago. So you can just message me on WhatsApp with your question later on. Ayodele, thank you. Still waiting for a question. Thank you very much, Zachariah. We really appreciate these feedbacks on the Telegram platform. But meanwhile, the recordings and the slides will be available. I'll try and upload the slide on my slide share and I'll share it to you. I have other slides on SlideShare on research. So you can check it and download them. I'll send the slides to you and the video will be recorded and of course uploading our YouTube channel. By the way, I was supposed to have done this at the beginning of this session. This training is brought to you by TORACIF. TORACIF is a research organization, a student-led research organization. Our goal is simple: to build capacity in research. For this particular training, we are collaborating with FGMELSA, Federation of Ghana Medical Library Science Students Association. We are collaborating with Global Health Focus, and we are collaborating with Students Against Superbug Africa. So that's our new strategy. Our new strategy is for every event we want to organize or host, we collaborate with mostly student bodies because we're trying to encourage them and we're trying to assist them in building capacity in research. That's really, really what we are passionate and committed to do. So if you think that we've done anything, then you've not seen, because we are committed to doing even more than we have done. Thank you very much. Please make all the slides available on a single drive where we can. Yes, we are planning towards this. If we cannot get them available on drive, we'll get them available on SlideShare. Those are the two options we have. All right, Eben, in the absence of any question, I think we can call it a day. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Eben. You've been really, really amazing from the beginning to the end. And I don't know how it would have been like without you. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you for the wonderful moderation. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. Okay, question before going. Zachariah, I'm listening.
So before going, sir, I think let me just chat. Like I like my voice is echoing. So let me chat.
Okay, Eben, you can use that opportunity to say anything you want to say to the participants so that once Zachariah drops his message, we can wrap up. Or any other person that has any other message can drop it so that once Zachariah drops his message, we wrap up.
Oh, okay. So I would like to say thank you all the participants. And so some people that has been punctual, someone like Khadija, I've already said. And also Zachariah Judah, he has also been with us. I think Ayu Daily has also been punctual. Kenneth, I think, yeah. Thank you, all of you. So today we have Kenneth, Jeremiah, we have Ayodele, and Aburo. Thank you all for joining today's session. And in fact, it has been a wonderful session so far, and today being the last day. as I said, I've already dropped my email and I'm dropping it again. So I'm in Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Department of Molecular Medicine, School of Medicine and Dentistry. So if you need anything, or you can just either email me, yes, and you just email me and I'm sure I will give you a reply. Yes. I don't know if anyone else has a question. Zachariah, are you now okay to ask your question?
Yes, he has asked. He said, yes, this is the final session. What should aspiring researchers be expecting from Turasive? Thank you very much. In fact, we didn't want to expose this because we wanted this to be for only the participants that have been stored, that have been serious. So first of all, you must try as much as possible to get your certificate, because that will be the proof that you attended this program. So I know you have paid, Zachariah. Others that have not paid should try and pay, because after today, we will not have the time and energy to entertain those problems again. So we want to wrap up everything today. Apart from the certificate, we want to organize some sort of mentorship, post-course mentorship program. It's simple. We are going to divide you into teams and you work on research topics, and then we connect you to the mentors, the people that have taught, the people that have moderated. We connect you to them so that they can guide you to at least publishing, even if it is one paper. And from there, once you publish one paper, your eye is open. In fact, your eye is red. You want to publish more, you want to collaborate. So what we are doing is, what we want to do is simple. We connect you to your peers because they'll be very important in your growth in research. We'll also connect you to mentors because will also be important for your growth. So that is what we want to do. Zachariah, but the criteria is that the person has to have a certificate, because that's the only way we can vouch that this person is serious. It could have been based on attendance, but we failed to take attendance from the beginning. So like, this is gonna be our only criteria. Thank you very much for the question.
Okay, so thank you very much for the answer. So I think without any other questions, we can officially call our meeting, and that's going to be our final meeting. Once again, thank you all for joining today's session. Enjoy your evening.